Attention passionate Chicago, Bears fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Chicago Bears' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Chicago Bears fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and Chicago Bears fans. Let's get to the news now, folks. I hope you're as excited as I am about what's brewing across the league because this isn't just any rumor. This is something that could truly reshape the NFC North, a division that's been fiercely competitive for years. And it involves the Chicago Bears, a team that's been building steadily, trying to find its identity after a couple of tough seasons. But right now, the buzz is about the Denver Broncos, a team that's struggling to find its footing this year. And apparently they're eyeing a major move that could send shockwaves through the NFL landscape. Sources close to the league are whispering that the Broncos, sitting at 3-4 and facing some serious issues on their defense, allowing an average of 25.6 points per game, are looking to shake things up big time. And the player at the center of this potential blockbuster, Patrick Surtain II. That's right, the young, elite cornerback who's been a bright spot in Denver's secondary. Now, rumors are swirling that the Broncos are prepared to trade Surtain, and not for just any pick, but for a first-round pick in 2026 and a third-rounder in 2025 coming from the Chicago Bears. Why would Denver do such a thing? Well, it's all about rebuilds and cap relief. The Broncos, still trying to recover from some tough seasons, see this as an opportunity to reset the roster, get younger and clear some cap space. Around $18 million to be precise. But more than that, they're looking for draft capital to bolster their future, especially on the offensive side, because they're in need of more weapons at wide receiver after losing Courtland Sutton to free agency. It's a classic rebuild move, and Surtain is the kind of player who could accelerate that process. Now let's talk about Surtain himself, because honestly, he's a game changer. The guy is only 25 years old, but he's already established himself as one of the top cornerbacks in the league. Standing at 62 and weighing 202 pounds, he's a physical specimen with elite coverage skills. His PFF grade this season is a staggering 93.2, which puts him in the top tier of defensive backs. Over the past couple of seasons, he's recorded 4 interceptions and 12 pass defenses in 2025 alone, along with 52 tackles. His coverage grade is an incredible 94.6, and he's allowed just 5-6 yards per pass attempt, which is phenomenal. But what really sets Surtain apart is his ability to shut down top receivers in man-to-man coverage. He's become a nightmare for quarterbacks, and his presence on the field boosts his team's chances of forcing turnovers and creating disruptive plays. Remember, he's a 2-time Pro Bowler and has accumulated a total of 14 interceptions and 42 pass defenses in his career so far. His recent performance was highlighted by a strong Week 7 against the Kansas City Chiefs, where he snagged 2 interceptions after a brief setback with an ankle injury that limited him to just 68% of snaps in Week 3. That comeback showed his resilience and ability to bounce back strong. Now compare him to other top corners in the league, and it's clear that Surtain is in a league of his own. His advanced stats, including over 100 coverage snaps with a 92% tackle success rate, demonstrate just how reliable he is. His ability to generate pass defenses, averaging 1-4 per game, adds to his value. And interestingly enough, he's been used extensively in man coverage, especially in slot situations where his stats are even more impressive. So what does this mean for the Bears? Well, if this trade goes through, it's a massive boost for Chicago's secondary. The Bears are already at a crossroads with their defense, especially after losing Gordon to IR with a groin calf injury that will keep him out until Week 12. Their secondary needs reinforcement, and acquiring Surtain would instantly elevate their chances of becoming a top 5 coverage unit. Pairing Surtain with Jaylon Johnson, that's a duo that could be feared across the league. It would give the Bears a lockdown cornerback tandem, capable of shutting down the division's best receivers and forcing quarterbacks into making mistakes. Imagine what that would mean for the Bears' overall defensive performance. With Surtain in the fold, the team could see their points allowed drop from around 22 per game to something closer to 18. That's a significant improvement, and it would give the offense more freedom to play aggressively, knowing their secondary can handle the pass game. Plus, the impact on turnovers would be substantial. We're talking about an added 10 or more turnovers just from the secondary, which could be the difference in close games. The The coverage improvements, especially in key matchups against teams like the Lions and Packers, could tilt the scales in Chicago's favor. Looking ahead to the playoffs, this move could be a game changer. The Super Bowl odds for the Bears, which currently hover around plus 10-0, could see a serious boost if Certain joins the team. Experts are already projecting that with his presence, Chicago could move closer to plus 4-500, making them a dark horse contender in the NFC. His ability to create shutdown zones, like in recent games against the Lions, where the pass game was held to just 8 yards per pass attempt, would make the Bears a nightmare for any quarterback. His addition could translate into around 9 more wins over the course of the season, turning a good team into a real contender. Of course, it's not just about the immediate impact. There's also the long-term perspective. The Bears have roughly $31 million in cap space at the deadline on November 4th, and making this move now would set a tone for their defensive identity for years to come. It's about building a dynasty, about creating a defense that can dominate for seasons, not just a quick fix. Certain, with his elite talent and young age, fits perfectly into that vision. He's a player who could anchor the secondary for the next 5 years or more, especially if Chicago is willing to lock him up long-term. But as always, there's skepticism. The Broncos are in a tough spot. Their odds of contending this year have taken a hit, especially with Nick struggling with a QBR of 82. 4 and their offensive line giving up an average of 3/8 sacks per game. They're looking ahead to the draft, especially for wide receivers, and the idea of trading away a cornerstone like Certain for draft picks makes sense from a rebuild perspective. Still, giving up such a talented player is never easy, and there's always the risk that injuries or lack of immediate results could dampen the benefits. Riley Moss, their other corner, has already been out for 3 games with a hamstring tear, so the depth at that position is thin. Plus, their Super Bowl chances have plummeted. Odds like plus 12-0 are not what they were just a few weeks ago. In the end, this potential trade exemplifies how the NFL is a league of strategic moves and bold decisions. For the Bears, acquiring Certain would be a statement, a declaration that they're serious about competing at the highest level and building a defense that can carry them deep into the playoffs. It's a move that echoes the trades we saw in recent years, like the Eagles' trade for Darius Slay or the Dolphins' acquisition of Ramsey, that have shaped championship-winning teams. So, as fans of the Bears, we should be paying close attention. This isn't just a rumor, it's a signal that Chicago is willing to make bold moves to elevate the roster. Certain's addition could be the final piece that turns this team into a legitimate Super Bowl contender. And let's not forget, with the NFC North being as competitive as it is, having a shutdown corner like him would give Chicago a serious advantage. It could be the difference maker in crucial divisional matchups, and it could set the stage for a bright future with a dominant defense leading the charge. Now, Chicago fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on all of this? Do you think the Bears should go all in for Certain? Would this move make them instant contenders? Or do you believe the Broncos are better off rebuilding slowly? Drop your thoughts in the comments below because your opinion matters so much to us and to the team. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Chicago Bears news. Because this story is far from over and the best is yet to come.